So this is vlog number 4. Um, so I'm going to be talking about chapter 12. So in the first section of chapter 12, it discusses like visuals and visual rhetorical acts. In regards to pictures, music videos, videos without words, like just anything that doesn't have a lot of words in general. So, because there are no words, people will interpret it differently than how they would someone speaking to them or hearing words. Because there are no words, there are going to be a lot of different views on that visual because, some person may see it as one thing and another one could be seeing it as a different thing. A lot of people nowadays do like seeing more visuals in like school or in like the workforce, just like helping them better understand something more so than words can. The second part talks about grammar specifically, and they call it like specialized grammar. So it's pretty much just talking about like visual communication. So the first part talks about basic elements of visual communication. The second part talks about technical elements on the camera or of camera. One relates to just visuals in general, just all sorts of kinds of visuals, and the other one relates to like a picture or something taken with a camera. They both have to do with how visuals are seen, though. They talk about 3 things in specific: balance, angles, and color. So balance is just another way of saying like how we see it, how we actually just visualize it in our minds, like how it's balanced out, like just how we see it that way. Colors talk about like what color is it? Is it yellow? Is it blue? Is it purple? Some people could see blue as being sad. Some people can see red as being anger. It just depends on how you think of those colors and how you associate them with moods or feelings. And then the last one, angles, talks about how the picture is actually taken or where, like what angle the visual is from. You could see it in one angle and see it in one way, and then see in a completely different angle and then just have a completely different interpretation of it. Each angle can tell a completely different story. It's really important when you're seeing a visual of what point that angle is or what point it was taken. The last section discusses problems with visuals. Because there's no words, it's really hard for people to fully understand it and fully get like the right way they were supposed to interpret it, because everyone has different perspectives, everyone has different experiences that can influence how they see something, and it's very easy for something to be misinterpreted. For example, if I recently got a job, so if I were to treat myself and buy myself, say, like a nice piece of jewelry or a nice bag, I could be taking a picture of it and posting it on social media, and people could think that, oh, look, I'm proud of her, she's finally like doing something to treat herself, she finally has a job, that kind of thing. But someone else could see it as me trying to post it and be like, I'm better than you. It's all about how you interpret it. That's why visuals aren't always the best option, because it could be misinterpreted like that, and then people get a completely wrong idea. The last thing I'm going to talk about is chapter 7. In reading pop culture, there were 2 essays. The first one was Violent Media is Good for Kids and Secret Skin. So the author of Violent Media is Good for Kids talks specifically about his childhood and how he was not allowed to watch violent TV, violent movies, see violence on the news, anything violent in general, and he thought that because of that, when he feels feelings of anger or fear or negative feelings, he doesn't know how to deal with it or process it correctly, and that makes him, in the long run, in his adulthood, more angry and not as much of a positive person as he could be or should be. So he pretty much believes that if kids see violence at a young age and see people doing the wrong thing in response to violence or anger or that kind of thing, it can help teach them that, if you are feeling a certain way, you can understand your emotions, understand you're feeling this way, but don't take it out in a wrong way. You can put it into something that could be positive and beneficial for yourself. If you're stressed out, instead of freaking yourself out and not knowing how to deal with it, for example, you could put it into motivating yourself. You can change a bad feeling and make it beneficial and positive for yourself. And then the second one, Secret Skin, it's about costumes and kids pretending to be superheroes when they're little, and like superhero costumes. So there were like kind of 2 points I picked up on. The first one was that kids pretending at a young age to be superheroes could be beneficial for creativity and growth, and it can give them an imagination. And the author thought that was a positive, like, of them being like in a place where they feel good about themselves and feel like I'm powerful. It can be good for them and help build their creativity. The second point was how superheroes generally wear tight clothing, and how if we see someone walking down the street in tight clothing, we associate it with superheroes, and we view them as someone who is super or powerful or in a position like that. And that's just how like our mind makes that connection. But yeah, that's it.